It's good to see you again. It's been so long.
Today's edition of Unity Trend on your radio. This is Unity Trend on Unity now 3.3 FM, Unity TV. Jiadamo is my name. Thank God it's Friday. Today, Friday, the 24th day in the month of May, the year 2024. We are reaching you live from the hills of ZINARIYA in just north Plateau State, Nigeria. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Me to continue saying
Since you've been here, you had Mr. Politician.
be in the studio because you find it worthy also to tune to this very dial, Unity 3.3 FM, the voice of reason from the home of peace and tourism. It's always good to have you on and on. Adamu remains my name, and of course your regular anchor on this wonderful program, Unity Trend. It promises to be a fantastic ride with you to the big city of Kano. But before then, let me not be in a rush. Remember, tomorrow is a public sanitation for us in the city of Jos. And so, do the needful. Before I continue on some of these introductory issues, why not? I just stay and then gets to introduce my guest in the studio. I have Professor Proveno Bamayi, Dean Faculty of Veterinary Medicine. He is an erudite public and current affairs commentator. He is seated to my left-hand side in the studio this morning and is coming your way as usual. Very big good morning.
Well, big good morning to you, viewers and listeners. Could be it's a beautiful morning. But in other parts of the world, far away, Southeast Asia, Australia, and the rest, if you're watching us, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the time is. It's a beautiful, wonderful Friday. Today is 24th May 2024. Those of you watching us on Facebook, we're happy you're there. YouTube, we're happy. 93.3 FM radio, I think probably the majority. We're glad that you're part of this fantastic broadcast. Unity Train taking us to a fantastic destination. Please invite your friends, invite neighbors, colleagues, invite somebody on social media. Tell them we're on air and that we'll be having a very fantastic ride together. But let me quickly remind you that 2024 is moving fast to a close. This is May. By some 8 or thereabout days time, we'll be talking about June. And then before you know it, the next half of the year is gone. How far so far have you gone with your goals? Those objectives, those visions, those dreams, those aspirations, those resolutions. That book you said you would write, that land you said you were going to buy, that house you said you were going to build. What about that trip you wanted to undertake? What about that album you wanted to release? What about that new thing you said you are going to do in 2024? Remember, your goals, visions, dreams must be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And remember that while you pursue these visions, dreams, objectives, goals, there will be opposition on the way. There will be adversity. There will be resistance. But your persistence will break every resistance. Tough times never last. Only tough people do. Winners don't quit. Quitters don't win. No matter how difficult it gets in this year 2024. Remember, in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. So persevere to acquire what you require in life. In case you don't acquire, don't retire, refire. And please, while you're at it, remember to be the change that you want to see in the world.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much, Professor Provano Hedge Mayi. To my right-hand side is Barrister Paul Zaruma. He believes in political analysis that which is, of course, balanced. And so, he's coming your way. He's a just best legal practitioner. With a big good morning, even this morning.
Good morning, viewers and listeners. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are receiving these signals from. This is another Friday to my to the Muslim faithfuls. I said Juma'at Mubarak. As you listen to this program, I pray that you remain blissful as usual. It's my pleasure being here once again.
All right, thank you so much, Barrister, for always being in the studio. And this morning together, we will make sure that our listener and viewer gets it a fantastic one as we begin. All right, the late Mrs. Mary John Galadima, who died after giving birth to a child, will be buried tomorrow, being Saturday, the 25th, and at Akwai Blue Zinc, Rukuba Road. The funeral service will take place there. It's a very painful one, as always. Whenever there is the story of death, you find it very painful, and of course, sometimes people would want to go to pay their condolences, mourning with the people. And when you get there, please, you mustn't say anything if you don't have anything to say. The first child resulted, in the end, the mother lost her life. And so the burial is tomorrow once again. So please, our hearts on this platform goes to you or Mr. John Galadima. He's a peace advocate. He did a song about peace on the plateau. We are with you, and we pray that God will find it as usual to comfort you and the rest of the extended family members and friends and well wishes, especially the Area Gospel Music Ministers Association, because he has been a financial secretary even to that association. So that's it. And very quickly, I would love to just begin with our headlines, even as we have them. Death penalty for corruptions. Court grants Osun lawmaker leave to sue Akpabio. Others. Another one says police begin investigation of Chinese manager who pushed Abia lady to death. TUNTBE orders review of appointments into governing board of tertiary institution. Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi buried in Mashhad Shrine. And Benue community under headsman attack. And remember, by PEPSA, public sanitations tomorrow being Saturday the 25th, the last Saturday of the month of May. Now, let's just begin. How I wish we would just go straight to Kano, even not because we don't have issues on the plateau, Prof. Barrister. We have issues on the plateau, but of course, I think it would be a good place even to start from Kano and come back home, or from home and Kano, anyhow.
I was born in Kano, so I'm happy to begin from Kano.
It's home
my
as well.
birthplace. Kano is home for me, Plateau is home for me. But let me say something a bit about the plateau, because I passed through terminus twice this morning before coming here. And I can report that there is 90% compliance with the order to clear the street and not be selling goods by the roadside. However, some people are still there, even as we're talking. I've seen people by the roadside selling their clothes and other things. They just kept them by the road there. It looks as if there are people that no matter what you say or no matter what you do, they don't care. They have their own law, and they have their own authority, and they have who they submit to, and they will do anything they feel like doing. So we have a few people who are still violating the order, even as of this morning, because I've passed through terminus just twice, this morning. So our appeal to the people of Plateau, those people who are selling things on the road in terminals, please don't patronize them. Leave them, let them stay there. When they're tired, they will leave the place. All those who are supposed to clear the streets, but in their stubbornness and rebellion against constituted authority, have refused to obey, allow them. Don't buy anything from them. And then when they are frustrated, they will leave the place. But of course, law enforcement agents must continue to do the work we're supposed to do. We must be undeterred, no matter what is happening and no matter what has happened. Once again, we send our condolences to the police officer that was killed day before yesterday in the crisis at Terminus. And then let me also seize this opportunity to send condolences to Mr. John Galadima, who lost his wife. It's a very painful thing, but what can we do? We are mere mortals. And death is the way of all the earth. Every one of us will leave this earth one day, no matter how much you love life, no matter the research that is going on for people to live long. Everybody will die one day. So please, our deepest condolences to these families. Now, let's go to my place of birth, Kano. My nickname in Kano is Ado Dan Kano.
Wow,
that's what I'm called, Ado Dan Kano.
Mine is Saidu.
All right.
Only barrister doesn't have one.
Kano has been in the news since, well, for some time, but especially between yesterday and today. And so many things have happened within 24 hours and are still happening. On the 9th of March, 2020, His Excellency Governor Abdullahi Ganduje, Umar Ganduje, deposed the then Emir of Kano, His Royal Highness Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, and sent him on exile. And when he did that, he also did not only appoint a new Emir of Kano, but also created 4 or 5 other emirates. And most people interpret it as if, well, he's reducing the power of the Emir of Kano. But could be. This is not the first time it happened in history. Go back to 1981. His Excellency Abubakar Rimi did something similar. About creating new emirates as the civilian governor of Kano State. And he had a little fracas with the then Emir of Kano. And he issued him a query to the Emir of Kano at that time, in addition to creating new emirate councils. And suspended the Emir of Kano. That's 1981. That led to a series of protests all over the ancient city of Kano. And on the 10th of July 1980 or 81, if I'm precise, Dr. Bala Mohammed Bauchi, a personal political advisor to Abubakar Rimi, was killed as he was preparing a sack letter for the Emir of Kano. At least 34 other people lost their lives in the crisis that enveloped the ancient city of Kano. So it is like history in a sense repeating itself, that on the 9th of March 2020, Umar Abdullahi Ganduje deposed the Emir of Kano, who left on exile. Now, Aminu Ado Bayero was appointed the Emir. Of course, we know, others, well, fast forward from that time. 4 years after that incident, we're having something that may be like a second homecoming for Lamido Sanusi, back to the ancient city of Kano, because he has been reinstated by the government. The lawmakers did their homework very fast, I must say, very rapid. I think it's been a long time since I saw such a process, that was done so rapidly. I wish that we can do other things that concern education and health and every other issue very rapidly like that, and pass a new law. So the law establishing the Emirate Council in Kano 2019 was repealed. And now we have a new law that is saying we're going back to the time before 2019. And then reinstating Emir Sanusi Lamido Sanusi. Now, the fireworks is still on, Kulbi, viewers and listeners. Because as of this morning now, there is an injunction of the Kano High Court. The status quo ante, whatever the lawyer say, should be maintained. That His Royal Highness Sanusi Lamido Sanusi should not be installed yet. Yes, until the cases in court are heard. So I think it's a wonderful, nice drama that we're watching happening in Kano State. But Kano State, like I said, is not new to controversies, especially the land where the radicals of the north come from. You remember the radicals of the north, Aminu Kano, Abubakar Rimi, and the rest of them, men who want to identify with the Talakawas, men who were out to say, look, the Talakawas should be the one that should own the land, and we should do things that will benefit them, and all that. So, as of this morning, we don't know yet what is going to happen fully in Kano, because there is a court injunction restraining the Kano state government from installing Lamido Sanusi as the Emir of Kano, 16th Emir of Kano for that matter. One of the things that the governor said yesterday, because I took my time to listen to the governor carefully, and of course some other people who have been talking about this, he was talking about the over 1,000-year history of Kano. And that more than 1,000-year rich history was done away with when the emirate was fragmented. And so they want to restore the ancient glory of Kano. There should be just one emirate as far as Kano is concerned. So let's fold our hands and pray and watch and see what happens.
Let's go to Barrister right now. So what angle are you giving to us now?
It is quite interesting.
Yes,
what is happening in Kano State. By the ascending into the bill of Kano State Emirate Council Amendment Number 2 Bill 2004, passed by the House of Assembly, as soon as the governor assented to the bill, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi II was reappointed as the Emir of Kano. This is an interesting development. The Magajin Garin Karai resigned, was it day before yesterday? And his reason for resignation is that the throne, the traditional institution in Kano, has been politicized. For that reason, he decided to resign. In other words, probably he saw it coming. So there are so many developments. Many council members of the other emirate have put in they put in their resignation because some of them saw this coming. When it came yesterday, so many people thought it was this usual social media propaganda. But when this day announced it, everybody believed that yes, because this is one of the first daily to announce the report. Now, the problem is multidimensional. Now, if you look at it, you will see that the Emirate of Kano generally have a very rich cultural history and heritage. And then if you look at monarchical system of government generally, it is known, one of its characteristics is that it is sacred. It is also sacrosanct. It is also conservative. In fact, all monarchical systems across the globe, one of their characteristics is that they are conservative in nature. And then this development, this interference by politicians is reducing that character of a monarchical system of government. And if this thing is allowed to continue, we will have a situation whereby emirs or traditional rulers, as the case may be, they will become like commissioners. Any governor who comes into power will just appoint any commissioner he feels like appointing, and immediately he's leaving office, he goes out with those commissioners. And if we allow the office of the emirates or the traditional rulers in general to be bastardized to such an extent, it is terrible. As for Kano State, there are those who are happy, there are those who are not happy, you know.
Sure.
Prof said that there is an injunction. The interesting thing about this injunction is that the injunction does not exist in a vacuum. So you cannot, if there is an injunction and Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, for instance, was not served with the injunction, you know, it will be deemed that he is not aware of the injunction. If the House of Assembly are not served with the injunction, it is deemed that they are not aware of the injunction. The injunction comes into effect upon service. The service could be either by substituted means or by direct service. So, as it is now, if Sanusi Lamido Sanusi has been installed before he received the injunction, the status quo is that he has been installed already. So the court will continue. So the game continues in Kano. And then it is quite unfortunate. You know, it's just like, for instance, you just have a situation whereby in England, you will say the Prime Minister is sacking the Queen. The traditional stool is supposed to be conservative. You know, like I said, I've been saying this, and I'm saying for the opting time, that our constitution is a military constitution. During the drafting of most of our constitution, we are drafted, or can I say we are teleguided during the military regime. So, in the process of the drafting, they gave the governor so much powers. And up till now, because we have come into the Fourth Republic with that kind of constitution, the governors enjoy such powers. And then if care is not taken, you know, if, for instance, another governor becomes a governor of Kano in 2027 who doesn't like Sanusi, he may also go fall back to those other 5 other emirates. And you know, even the circumstances that led to the balkanization of the ancient Kano traditional institution was a misunderstanding between Ganduje and Sanusi Lamido himself. And when they were sacking him, the letter was that they entitled the letter that Sanusi was, they are sacking him for insubordination. So you can see, you know, and then I was also listening to Sanusi, who was reacting, and he said, he was asking the question, is he a subordinate? Is it actually and constructively a subordinate of the governor? You know, to him, he is arguing that no, ideally, these are institutions that are supposed to coexist concurrently by our constitution. But no, as long as our constitution also is concerned, the traditional institution does not really have constitutional power. The traditional institutions are only purely ceremonial. So these are some of the things I think we should also look at our constitution, so that the traditional institution will have some level of protection because of their conservative nation. The government that the black man or the Nigerian generally knows about was a traditional institution long before the advent of the Europeans. This this constitutional democracy we are practicing today is an alien government that we inherited from the European and the West.
All right.
In general. So we have to really whittle down the powers. You know, the constitution have to really protect our traditional institution. If not, just like I earlier pointed out, that the governors will become, the traditional institution will become like a commissioner. If any governor comes, he appoints the faces he like, and anybody he likes to work with him in the traditional. They are supposed to work together in harmony, and then the traditional institution also have to serve as a check on some of the excesses of, you know, generally.
Okay, we have just but a minute to go for a commercial break, but before we do, we'll just talk a little about public sanitation, which comes to us tomorrow in the city of Jos. If you permit me, let me say Plateau all over, so that let that be one thing we will do, whether you are the rural or urban city. So please, we'll just talk a little about it. It's something we must do. The environment is some kind of a thing or place that affects our health. If you don't make good use of it, you don't keep it clean, it has a way of affecting you. And Prof is here. I'll let him say something about
yes,
that.
They say cleanliness is next to godliness. Cleanliness is next to godliness. I entered a public place yesterday, so everywhere dirty, littered. I asked the people, I said, how do you live in this place? With this place littered and dirty? And you people can survive here? And they said, oh, the cleaners, the cleaners. I said, cleaners? If there are no cleaners, you will not clean where you are staying in your own environment. That's why I like the discipline of the Japanese. In Japan, from the prime minister to the lowest person in the society, you clean your office, you clean your house, you clean your environment. When my friend went for his PhD, he was surprised to see his professor cleaning the lab. Everybody was busy cleaning. He thought they don't have cleaners, they don't employ cleaners. Everybody cleans. What is the use of your hands? Everybody cleans for himself. Some people have seen me wash my car. They will say, why are you washing your car? Other people should do it. You know, I've washed my car for years. You know, recently some people tried to overtake me and try to do it before I do it. But, you know, we should be diligent. We should use our hands, clean our environment. And tomorrow provides that opportunity. Clean your house.
In case you've not been doing
clean your environment. You know, clean your surroundings, you know, where you're staying. I saw heap of refuse around the terminus area. You know, those are places that should be cleaned. That should all those refuse should be taken away from that place because they constitute a health hazard. And the government is very magnanimous. They said tomorrow students who are writing exams, like just students will be allowed to move. But every other person, take part in the sanitation exercise. Commercial areas and public places will be closed so that we can observe this sanitation from 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. Is that too long?
Okay, Prof. I think we'll still come back on this very issue because it's one thing we must emphasize. Stay tuned for a commercial break. After it, we'll be right back.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer, and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was saying things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
Unity. Unity TV.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again.
I'm so happy to say welcome back. This is Unity Train on Unity 93.3 FM and TV. I'm so excited this morning, and permit me to say Jamaat Mubarak to my Muslim brother and sister, whom of course tuned to this very dial. We're reaching you live from the hills of ZINARIYA in just North Plateau State, Nigeria. Don't forget, Friday is not just a Friday, but it's a Friday that is 24th today in the month of May, the year 2024. I'm so happy again because I get to discover I have my very own professor. Actually, I'm a brother to Professor. There's no way I would say Professor is my brother, all right? Maybe I'm a brother to him. This is because he was born in Kano, and I went to Kano and I stayed there. So we started from Kano, actually, and we're back to Plateau.
I also did my law school in Kano.
Oh my! So it's lovely. So to my left and right, actually, are my brothers, all the way from Kano. So maybe after today, just call me Saidu Adamu, and I think that is.
I am Adodan Kano.
Adodan Kano. You actually belong more than I do.
Me, I am Alaramma.
Oh my, it's lovely. You see what it is. All right.
You know, when I was coming up in Shagari Corner, I loved teaching. So I used to gather children, teach them the ABC, teach them how to read, how to write. So in Shagari Corner, people know me as Alaramma because yes, I was teaching children, gathering them. So I never knew the meaning of Alaramma until when I grew up. I asked, I said, what is this Alaramma? And they told me that it's a scholar, it's an Islamic scholar.
So you are Alaramma.
So, yes.
Barrister Alaramma. All right, thank you. Back to our discussion. We were just getting to talk about the need for us to keep our environment very clean. It has a lot to contribute to our health, whether positively or negatively. You can see just between the few weeks that we have had rains in the city of Jos, you can see what the waterways are doing. All the polythenes, all the leathers, all whatever you have, thrown over the time in the waterways. Water has brought them out, and they're just there. So probably if you have not been able to clear that up as a community, you're waiting for the government. The government is saying tomorrow is now the day for us to be all out and make sure we make it clean. So I just leave this. We have to talk a lot about this too, because it has been informed already that there is likely to be flood in probably all the states in Nigeria. So we have to be deliberate in the little we can do in order to bring down the effect or impact of the flood, the as that has been reported. Prof, over to you.
Yes, thank you very much again. Could be viewers and listeners once again. Jumad Mubarak to all Muslim faithfuls across the globe. It's a beautiful time, a wonderful day, a day of meditation, a day of prayer. Tomorrow is sanitation, monthly sanitation. Declared by the Plateau State government. And sometimes I ask myself, should we wait for the government to tell us to sanitize our environment? Should we wait for the government to declare environmental sanitation before we clear our drainages, before we clean our surroundings? Once a month is not even enough. But what even baffles me is that you will see some people who will insist that they will not observe the sanitation. In fact, that's the time they want to go about their own business and do something else. We have so many filthy, dirty places all over the city of Jos. Jos Metropolis, Bukuru Metropolis, and we have blocked drainages all over. Refuse dumps. We have some parts of Jos that if you are passing through, the place is stinking, smelling the stench. You will almost throw up. Now, we have an opportunity, at least, to clean our surroundings, a little bit, make it look a bit more habitable. Because I've been to some parts of Jos, and I wonder to myself, how do people live in this place? How are they able to survive? Is it human beings that are living in this place? I mean, we should be better than, I don't want to use certain words, but you see even where they keep animals. Those who know how to keep animals properly, they clean them they keep them in a clean environment. But then you have human beings living in very filthy, dirty, stinking environments. It is not a good thing. We want to appeal to the good people of Plateau. Please, come out tomorrow. Take part in the monthly environmental sanitation. And make it a practice that your environment should always be kept clean. If you see somebody carrying refuse and just throwing it anyhow, challenge the person and say, why are you doing this? Because sometimes you see people, they're moving on the street, they'll just carry refuse, they'll just throw it through the window of their car on the road. You see some people who just eat maybe mango or orange or banana or something, they just throw it on the road like that. They don't care. Anything, they just throw it anyhow.
And when you ask them, they tell you that women used to come and clean it in the morning, so why?
It is quite unfortunate.
Why should keep it in a particular place?
Unfortunate. One professor was giving a story some time back. He said that he traveled to visit a fellow professor in Ghana. So while he was eating, was it banana or so, he threw it across the window, and then immediately he threw it. Then there was this bike that was pursuing them. It was a police bike. So the police motorcycle overtook them and flapped them down. When the driver stopped, and then he told him that someone threw something from this car. And then he said,
in Ghana? Yes,
in Ghana. So he said, oh, it's my friend. Sorry, it's a visitor from Nigeria. And then the professor started begging, and he said, please, sorry, I'm from Nigeria.
We throw banana peels.
So and then the policeman told him, be careful, this is Ghana, this is not Nigeria. So it is very unfortunate that
that's the image.
So we have an image of uncleanliness, image of dirty,
image of Yahoo.
That is quite unfortunate. I think we begin to have to work on our public image. We have to work on not really by packaging. We are not talking about packaging now. We are not talking about faking our image. We are talking about actually looking inwards, and cleanliness, just like Prof rightly pointed, is next to godliness. We have to keep our environment clean. Some of these water floods that we are talking about, they are as a result of this carelessness. Some of them are actually avoidable. So as citizens of this country, we have to make sure we keep our environment clean. We have to keep Plateau State clean. We have to keep just clean.
Oh, that's it. Death penalty for corruption. You know, I wonder if this is possible for us. Well, court grants also lawmaker leaves to sue Akpabio, others. This I doubt.
It's an Ocean lawmaker, Akomi, Jibola, who is going to court. The court has given him permission to proceed. Go ahead and challenge our lawmakers. Because you recall that on this platform we're talking about when they impose a death penalty for drug trafficking.
Yes.
And then they left something weightier than that, which is corruption. In fact, while we were talking about that, Senator Ndume came out to say that if there will be a death penalty for corruption, it should be people who stole in trillions.
It's not like there will be
billions and billions.
But let's start somewhere.
Yeah. So this Ocean State lawmaker Jibola is challenging our lawmakers. He's saying he should be allowed. He's going to court. He will challenge their decision not to consider the death penalty for corrupt public officers in the country. Corruption is a cankerworm. It's a cancer, a metastatic cancer that has spread all over this country. It is a cancer that is responsible for the death of millions of Nigerians. Money that is meant for the next generation has been stolen by a few individuals. Money that is meant for our hospitals has been stolen. Money meant for our schools has been stolen. Money that is meant to better the lives of Nigerians, put food on our tables. Some few individuals have stolen that money. And more are still stealing that money. In fact, in Nigeria, if you steal money in millions, you are just joking. They talk in terms of billions and trillions now. That is why the senator is saying, no, if you have to impose that penalty, let it be for those who stole trillions, not billions. But what are we talking about in this country?
Corruption.
Corruption is such a national emergency that we need to arrest it. And I support that we have a death penalty for corrupt politicians, corrupt corrupt public officers. By the time we make an example with 1, 2, 3 people, I tell you every other person will sit up. Will begin to have less corruption. By the time we give them the Chinese treatment, I tell you, you will see sanity being restored among our politicians and political office holders. But with the current situation, where if you steal 200 billion naira, they will ask you to return back 20 billion and keep the remaining 180 billion for yourself, and then give you a chieftaincy title in your village, and then welcome you home on a red carpet even if you are coming out from prison, and then celebrate you and say you are a son of the soil, daughter of the soil, you are the best thing that has happened to the community. You are at a situation where our traditional rulers are even implicated in celebrating corruption, celebrating evil in the land. And we have political office holders celebrating. At one time in this country, we even had a president that says stealing is not corruption. And that is the maze that we found ourselves in. And I think it is high time that our senators and members of the House of Representatives, you call yourselves honorable members of the House of Representatives. If you're honorable, please show some honor. Show some integrity. Senators, you say you're distinguished senators. Show that you are truly distinguished senators. Your excellencies, show that you are truly excellent. Support the call for a death penalty for corrupt political office holders, politicians who are corrupt. They should be made to face the death penalty, capital punishment. That way, we will sanitize Nigeria in a very, very short period of time. People will sit up.
Prof, people's behavior, attitude, and tribalism are said to be, the major causes of corruption that as we have it amongst public office holders.
Yeah. It is the major causes of corruption. That is why you see most corrupt people, when they discover they will be caught, they will now play the regional card. If they also discover that the regional card will not favor them, they will now either play the tribal card or the religious card. And then when you reduce it down to the religious line, they will play the family card. When you reduce it down to the family, it will now end at themselves. So most of them, they are just playing around with Nigerians. I think we're ahead of that lawmaker, particularly with reference to the last program we had when they passed the law on a death sentence or capital punishment for drug traffickers. We are also of the opinion, we gave an opinion, though in the public, he went to the normal constitutional court. We were ahead of him. We came to here in the public court of public opinion to state that we are supporting the law, that death penalty to be on corrupt officials. And then, frankly, with characters like Ndume and Akpabio and co in the Senate, it will be extremely difficult for Nigeria as a state to pass that law. I can bet anybody that to make a death sentence. These are the people who make the law. And then some of them even already have pending cases before EFCC. So now, what are you saying? So you can see that the problem of this country is leadership problem, and then also corruption. Once you are able to solve the issue of corruption, Nigeria will no longer be where it is. And some of the things you see is people are reacting to the frustration that they have been subjected to as a result of corruption factor.
Now, it's about now, with whom? Will you start with a Christian or a Muslim? Because we are so religious that even if this is now a goal, okay, you can just start this is implemented, right?
That is why the other time
where will you start it? Because it's not the leadership per se yet, all right, but Nigerians in general.
That is why we say that the last. I think we have said it somewhere here again that Nigeria may be religious, but we are not righteous.
Or godly.
So we are not godly. So there is difference between being religious and being righteous. I can be here and I can pray 10 times before I start the program, and in the next minute, in fact, there are some people that before they go to robbery they pray. There are those who will collect the proceeds of robbery. They will take it to religious leader to bless them for a successful business.
Like those who are still spreading goods,
you can see how,
selling in terminals.
Yes,
probably they must have prayed.
Yes, because righteousness goes with obedience to the law. So when we are talking about Nigeria's religion, we block roads on Fridays. We cause inconvenience for ourselves in the name of religion. We block roads on Sundays. We cause inconvenience for ourselves in the name of religion. You hardly enter into any car in Nigeria now. You want to travel, someone will not come either pray for you or whatever, or someone will jump up and start preaching. But still, you don't see that really reflecting in our daily lives. So we are religious. That is what religiosity is. We fast. When Lenten comes, the Christians embark on fasting. When Ramadan comes, the Muslims embark on fasting. But you don't see the righteousness. You don't see the godliness in us. So if you go to other countries that don't even know God, you will see them. They are principled. They are disciplined. They are. Some of these countries were mentioning, like China. They don't really believe in the God we believe in Nigeria. Yeah, so but you could see discipline, you could see uprightness, you could see. I was following up a story in China of a man that is he had dairy company, so that someone bought his dairy product and discovered that the dairy product expired. A billionaire hung himself. Hung himself because someone discovered that that his dairy product expired, and probably it may not be his direct fault. Maybe as at the time the product went to the market,
transporting it from one place to
so he hung himself and committed suicide because he said he wouldn't face the authorities. Because once the authorities find his company culpable, one way or the other is capital punishment. So he said he wants to save his family. So the rudiment of prosecution. So he hung himself.
Should this be that there's capital punishment for any corrupt public officer? Now you are faced with the issue of where will you start, because you need to be careful if you should start with a Christian or you should start with a Muslim. Or you should start with someone from certain political region or the other. So this is one thing we're talking to.
We have Christians who are corrupt, Muslims who are corrupt, traditionalists who are corrupt. So start anywhere. Make sure that the law is truly blind, doesn't select whom should be punished and who should not be punished. Apply the law and stand by it. Has it not happened during the military era? Because they are military people. When General Muhammadu Buhari and Brigadier General Tunde Diagon led this country, the Supreme Military Council, when they promulgated the decree to impose capital punishment on drug traffickers. You remember the famous case of Gloria Okon and all the rest of them. People were taken to the stake and they were killed. Who talked about religion that time? Nobody cared whether they were Christian or Muslim. The military said you are caught in even smuggling, carry the death penalty, you are killed. When they promulgated the decree with even retrospective effects, people thought they were joking. They carried a few people and made an example and killed them. People said they're serious. So when you do this, nobody will be saying it's because it's Christian or Muslim. When people are seeing that you are serious, you don't care about religion. You know, my problem with us Nigerians, just like Barrister Zaruma was saying, is that we are extremely religious people. But our religiosity is superficial. We are so religious, but you see clerics involved in crime, in corruption, benefiting from process of corruption, encouraging corruption, taking part in corruption, praising corruption. How many of the clerics who are making noise all over this country now have gone to His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu to tell him the truth, that what you're doing is not good, Nigerians are suffering. When they get there, they will say, you're doing well. They will celebrate him. How many of the clerics on the plateau have gone to Caleb Manasseh Mutfon to tell him the truth? Anytime they go there, they will say, you're doing well. We celebrate you. You're our son. What you're doing is fantastic. There is no weakness in you, no problem. That is the problem we have in this country. And our leaders are always deceived that when people are praising them, then they're doing well. People will always praise you. People were praising Adolf Hitler till he committed suicide. People were celebrating and praising Idi Amin when He was even killing people in hundreds of thousands, almost 1 million people disappeared in Uganda. People were still celebrating him and praising him. So when people are praising you, be careful. Those who are praising you are your enemies. The people who truly love you are your critics, who criticize you constructively. In fact, when everybody is praising you, when they come and praise you, please tell them, stop. Tell me what I'm doing wrong so that I can correct it. So we have a lot of corruption in our country. And people will go to church and they will raise their hands and praise God. They will go to the mosque and pray. They will go to their shrines and do their idol worship and whatever it is people do. The atheists will do that, but the corruption still remains there. Go to countries that don't even pray. They don't even pray. But yet, when it comes to integrity, they have integrity. When it comes to keeping to the law, they keep to the law. They don't respect people. That is where we should be getting to as a country. You see, our politicians, when they sit down there at the green chamber or the red chamber, it is when something is of benefit to them. Then you will see them even fighting. They will even carry the mace and run with it. They will even box here and there and all that. But things that are truly beneficial, things that will benefit the average Nigerian, they don't care about it. Why are they not fighting for us to get food to eat? Why are the political leaders not fighting for minimum wage? Why has the National Assembly, Senate, or House of Rep, why have they not fought to say, please give 300,000 as minimum wage to Nigerians? It is of no benefit to them. They don't care.
Directly, it's not.
But stop their salary today, the whole of Nigeria will be on fire. So you see this tendency for corruption. It is high time this canker, this cancer is dealt with. You must remove the cancer radically. You must yank it off. Otherwise, I tell you that we're in for trouble in this country.
Just to lend my voice to your question, in addition to some of the responses from Prof. You ask who to start with. Is it a Christian or a Muslim? I would say you should start with the first person that started. And what do I mean? Normally in our criminal jurisprudence, you don't try somebody in retrospection. In other words, like those who already have corrupt cases in the court before the enactment of the law, they will not be tried, because as at the time they committed that corruption, corruption was not a capital offense.
All right.
So immediately that law is enacted, then there will be an orientation. They will tell people, okay, now it is no longer business as usual. If you commit corruption now, it is a capital offense. And once that is done, the first person that violates that law, whether he is a Muslim or a Christian or a traditional worshipper, he should be punished according to that law, so that he will serve as an example to people. And this is one angle that the politicians are not aware of. Because they are saying that, okay, I already have corruption cases for this, I say corruption case. I wouldn't know if the next government will be hostile and will come. And unfortunately, this selective prosecution of corruption cases is not good for our country. Because now you can see that some of those corruption files now, they are lying fallow. You wouldn't even know whether the case has been adjourned sine die or the case is still pending. Not until another government come, then they will dust the file and begin to do the case again. So how are we growing? Where are we growing? So you can see that the corruption has eaten deep into the fabric of our national institution and all agencies. So I think we are saying that corruption should be a capital offense, and our leaders were calling on them not to be afraid to enact the law. Probably because they have skeleton in their cupboard, the law will not commence in retrospection. So that's just what I want to add. Yes, they should feel free to enact the law for the betterment of Nigeria. And once if they enact this law, I tell you that Nigeria will be a great country.
And I see it truly in that way, because once we get it right, we do away with corruption. Every other thing will just have itself fixed without necessarily having someone to really work on them. Police began investigation of Chinese manager who pushed Abia lady to death. This is rather some kind of update. Tinubu orders review of appointments into governing board of tertiary institutions. Prof, your colleagues will not let you, will not forgive you without saying something today.
In fact, my colleagues want more than that because the credible threat to go on strike by ASU is still on because many other demands have not been met. In fact, the main demands of ASU have not yet been met by the government. But reconstitution of the governing councils and constitution of the governing councils, for those who have never had, it's a matter that is still work in progress because His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu has come out to say he has listened to the cries of Nigerians.
Again.
I think it's a good thing when we have a president who listens. So I give it to him. Because after those names were released all over the country, people were crying out that it did not reflect federal character. In fact, some people said in their state, there were only 1 or 2 candidates in the whole list of 555 appointees for the 111 federal institutions, federal universities, federal polytechnics, federal colleges of education. So people have been crying out, and His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu heard the cries of the people and said, please, let's look at this list again. Because our constitution provides for federal character. If most of the people are coming from a certain region, a certain state, a certain place, then it is not good. We have to do something about it. And so they have said they're going to look at it and hopefully do something before the inauguration on the 31st of May. If they are not able to finish, it means by 31st May there will not be any inauguration of the governing councils of these institutions. So they will have to reconstitute the boards again so that we have a situation where we have enough people from the Plateau, enough people from Zamfara, enough people from Cross River, and various other parts of the country to reflect federal character. There is something else trending could be. Yesterday, the House of Rep members passed the bill to revert to the old national anthem. The old national anthem. So it's a third reading now. So we have a lot.
And it may interest Prof.
We have drama
to know that one of those masquerades has been arrested and he is facing prosecution.
Oh my! All right, so we have commercial break right now, gentlemen. We have commercial break. Please, our listener and viewers, stay tuned. We'll be right back after it, please.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Get ready to be entertained and inspired by the incredible stories around the globe. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hello at Work is an ultimate TV program that brings to you the interesting stories and daily happenings worldwide. Join us Mondays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. as we dive into the daily happenings and stories. Tune in and stay. Say hello to the world as you bring in your ideas, as it is a perfect blend of entertainment and information. Get ready to stay up to date while being entertained.
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way.
It concerns you. It a kill law, it a kill dreams. It a land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. Been so long since you've been here.
For joining us on today's edition of Unity Trend on Unity 93.3 FM and TV. This is the last segment. It's lovely. I've been in the studio with Barrister Paul Zaruma, a just best legal practitioner, and to my left it has been Professor Proveno Hetsiba Mayi, Dean Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, University of Jos. Ishademo remains my name, and you can call me Kubi if you like. I'll be just fine. So please, you may want to be a part of the conversations. The studio line is booting actually. I will be very happy if, as you listen, you decide to call. You can join us on our Facebook page at Unity Radio FM/TV. Just drop your comments. I get to read them just when the time comes. And for text messages, you can do that via a line 0808 478 9999. For text messages, again, 0808 478 9999. From now on, if you call, please just tell me your name and location. You go straight up in 1 minute. Let's have your submissions, and stay away from comments or statements that doesn't have that which will permit me to even allow you continue with your submission. So please, peaceful coexistence is what we really desire to contribute to make it sustainable even on this platform. And so comments made on this platform and not in any way the position of Unity 93.3 FM. Let's just begin to pick your calls. Hello, good morning.
Very good morning.
Good morning. It's good to have you already.
Thank you very much. I hope you're hearing me could be.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you very much. This is the voice of HAJARKU. Voice of status and always emanating from HAJARKU. Take coverage. I don't have to go.
Thank you, voice of Plateau State emanating from HAJARKU and spreading all over the country. Go on.
Good place you could be. I want to appreciate the book there.
All right.
In fact, I appreciate the very good analyst. You have analyzed everything very perfectly.
Thank you.
Everything right.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
You see, the problem we have in Nigeria today is because the government are romancing with the criminal evildoers. And that is why many people kill and go to pay even snoring. Nobody is after them. That is the reason why the high rate of crime is growing in Nigeria. The terrorists have not, the government have romanced with the terrorists and the peace loving citizens of the country. This is what you're saying today. Okay, now what happened in Cameroon? Recently.
Yes.
What happened in Cameroon? You think that the security doesn't know how to handle civil issues? You think that they cannot handle civil matters? Police officer that came out just to pass his country, his fatherland, just to take his dead body back home.
Oh, mine.
What does that mean for us?
Oh, mine.
What does it mean for the security police? If it is a still bullet as I have had, then they didn't believe, were they not trained how to shoot? Please let them know how to use their weapons.
All right.
And the people of Plateau State, let's abide by the law. No, every country progress with that law.
All right.
You must abide by the law of the land.
Thank you.
If suppose the government of the day, I mean the government is trying its best to stabilize people on the plateau.
Thank you.
At least there are physical development, there are development that are taking place. If we do not join our hands together, we have to see the green light of the day.
Thank you so much. Amen. Thank you for praying for Plateau. And Emmanuel Mwari Audu from Kampala say good morning. Unity FM watching you live from Kampala in Rukuba Road. Okay, from Kampala, Rukuba Road. On Kampala. It's good to have you, Emmanuel Mwari. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Professor. Good morning, Kupi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Nawudi Dios, calling from Terminus.
All right, it's good to have you. In a minute, please.
My brother, is what I want to tell you. We should get our lawmakers.
All right.
So put into the law.
Okay.
When the thief, corrupt, should be killed. I'll be very happy. Then anybody that they cut to the drug should be also killed.
Okay.
You see, to become balanced. Another thing I want to tell you, for the China person that killed our lady.
Yes.
My brother, the other day it happened in Kano. Another one now is in Abia. We don't know when it will happen again. But we are not praying for that. But what our government, because our government are not taking the indigenous of people by knowing that we are their people. For instance, Bola Mosiribu is my father. He's our father of Nigeria. If he's taking your child serious, somebody they travel to there. You understand?
All
I don't know what kind of government do you have for them to be taking us, so that we are nothing. We are not. We do them. That is all this shit is happening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bless Professor in the house. Bless our country, Nigeria. Bless our Plateau.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, Adil Muhammad. He said, good morning, Unity FM. Jos, I'm watching you from Epala, Edo. Oh, mine. This is lovely. Thank you, Adil Ahmad Muhammad. All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah, I thank your guests and I greet him very well. Two of them have made our day.
Amen. Thank you for that.
I'm Pastor Eric calling you from Refuge here.
Oh, it's been a while, Pastor Eric. Thank you so much. You have a minute, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my brother.
You're welcome.
You see, when I hear a very good news of turnaround in injustice, it always makes me happy.
All right.
Because what happened in Kano a few years back is a very serious info to France. Removing a king from a throne. I'm a prince, and I know what it means to cause to lose a throne and to cause people to go the other way. Ganduje and his team did not do well by the activities that went around removing the former emir.
Okay.
Now the emir. Having said this, you see, your colleague in the guest in the studio was talking about passing a bill that will cause corrupt practitioners, those who have taken Nigeria and all that Nigeria owns as their own venture.
Yes.
Through corruptional means, they take away everything. And they know that they have a soft landing of these dealings, and they do it and get away.
Yes.
It is only law that will cause somebody that is corrupt to die.
Only law. Thank you.
This problem. But the major question here to everyone is, who will go the car? Since the judiciary, the legislator, and all that is making support for those they put in the office of governance are very large in number. They have begotten political children that are behaving like them. So, with radicals, with system that we create that move that will solve
Thank
this
you
problem.
very much,
That's
Pastor
where
Eric.
our challenges are.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pastor Eric. And we have this one on Facebook. He said, Muhammad Dauda Abdullahi said, good morning, Unity FM. I'm watching you live from Endoya Market in Jos City here. Thank you. And another one, Awal Maiglas said, good morning, Unity FM. Watching you live from Dr. Damaraya Street, Jos. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, 07032353315 if you want to be a part of it. In 1 minute, your name, your location, your submission. Okay, Ahmad Muhammad Tajini said, good morning, gentlemen in the studio, and Jamaat Mubarak to all the Muslim faithfuls. It's not surprising. It's not surprising that the Kano State Governor has removed the Emir of Kano and returns Sanusi as the new Emir, because they always had the plan in their hearts. The governor is being guided by Kwankwaso, and his man has the intentions to, legacy of Ganduje in Kano. The greatest problem of Kwankwaso is that, he says he doesn't forgive and he doesn't forget. He holds grudges in his heart until maybe eternity. Muhammad Tajuddin from Naraguta. All right, Muhammad Tajuddin, that's your opinion. Anyway, thank you for sending your comment. Kingsley Saleh say, good morning, great minds in the studio. Have you eaten? I'm fully in support of death penalty for any corrupt public official, either Christian or Muslim. Kingsley, thank you. Another one here say, good morning, Mr. Kobe, and good morning, Professor P.H. Bamayi and Barrister Paul Zaruma. Really, you speak exactly what's bothering us as a nation. Corruptions in this country stagnant. I recall importations of 1 bag of rice was declared death penalty, but importations of weapons is not. That's why insecurity is all over the country. Please, all the NBA should come out and talk the lawmakers the truth. Okay, tell the lawmakers the truth. Thank you, at Ismail Isa. Thank you, Ismail Isa, always with us too. Hello, good morning. Hello. Good morning. Mazi. Thank you for calling.
Thank God for today. You see, what is happening now in Kano is just a sort of a shifting of goalposts.
All right.
Whatever shifting of goalposts, any government or any regime that comes, they do it. Babangida did it. Abacha did it. It's just motivation. But the question is this. Some people will tell you that the Emirates were. But the people, can't we go back to the constitution of the Federal Republic? Can't we go back to the act that governs the Kano Emirates, that governs Kano? But the question is, you start asking yourself, why is it that in Nigeria, you like to don't think the way there is a constitution already, both the one and the federal government, but you don't follow it. But the question, you have to be very careful because the way we do things in Nigeria, it's not the best.
All right.
Because
are you there?
That all those past people that are there, with the area they should try as much as possible, put them in their normal position, not to change or remove them, just to send them to go home without any benefit. But it's need to give them something good. And
okay, all right, 0703235315. We apologize, last caller. It's a drop call. We just couldn't get you towards the end of it. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. 0703235315 is the studio line, please.
hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle. Good morning, Professor. Good morning, Barrister.
Thank you. You need to be more audible. Amen.
Amen. Please, I want to talk on the issue of God's cleanliness.
Okay.
Just like what the professor has rightly said, that cleanliness needs to godliness.
Yes.
People can invite this culture and keep their environment clean. It will just go a long way to promote their images, their integrity, as well as their respect. So people should learn how to keep their environment clean. Secondly, I am fully in support of this capital punishment that the professor has rightly talked about. You see, without imposing capital punishment on this criminal, high-profile politicians, that is how we will continue to be in this vicious cycle. After all, there are some countries that professors have just mentioned that they were not practicing religion. At the same time, they don't engage in corruption.
All right.
So where is our sense of religiousness? So please and please, we should support government towards fighting this issue of corruption. And I'm calling on the general public, especially the common masses, because it's not only politicians that are corrupt. Even we, the common masses, are corrupt.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. I love it when he was making it clear that it's not only public office holders, but we too should also look.
It is corruption that is making people to be selling things at Terminus Market by the
roadside. That is corruption.
It's not of corruption.
So it's not only the politicians.
That's what
when you look at the
corruption at their level.
Corruption, it's a very wild definition.
Yes, of course.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you very much. My name is Babi Kumar. I'm calling from TUNTBE Junction.
Thank you for calling. You have a minute. Go on, Mr. Sadiq Kumar.
Yeah, I want to commend the prof in the house and commend you for doing the great job.
Thank you.
So my comment this morning is on the return of the area of Kano Unity, Islamic Unity, which is a very, very good one.
Okay.
But you see, if we see that this ownership of Kano has been politicized, this Congress of Ganduje, we have seen how Ganduje has by the tradition of Kano, how we have appointed more than 4 areas
still there? Oh, mine. I think we lost. Is a drop call already. Okay, good morning, Unity FM, Kubi and Barrister Z. Thank you for the free education. May Almighty God continue to guide and protect you all. If death penalty will come to stay in Nigeria, then corruption will leave. May God deliver Nigeria from the cankerworm. Daniel Adam Danladi Kabon Satellite Market. One man, one farm. One woman, two farms. Thank you. And that's why I say morning, Mr. Kubi and Prof. B, Barrister Z. It's high time we unite and work together and ensure there is capital punishment for corruption people, as this will help save Nigeria. Nigeria is our fatherland. We must deal decisively with crime to end the criminal acts. Don't forget to get a farm as the rain commences and clean our environment. Adewumi Bauchi wrote this one too. Thank you. I hope we'll have good yields. Bulus Esther, okay, Woman Esther in Farangeda say good morning. Kobe and the professor, the barrister in the studio. May God continue to bless you both for the great work you are doing out there. Happy Jamaat Mubarak to our Muslim faithful out there, and happy Sunday in advance. We pray for peaceful coexistence in Plateau State and Nigeria. Thank you, Esther Bulus. And another one here says, good morning, Kobe, Professor Bamayi and Barrister Zaruma. Thank you for always putting your efforts for peace to reign. Almighty God will indeed bless you. I say amen to that. Yusuf Lawan Sani from Bauchi Ring Road. Oh, he's our neighbor here. Oh, thank you so much. Time is not on our side. I would love to. This is Friday, and once it is Friday, I always want to give Barrister and Prof all the time so that they give us that which I tend to call shock absorber to take us all through the weekend. So let's begin with Barrister. Response and then your parting word as well. Barrister.
Yeah, by way of response, the issue of Kano Emirates has come with mixed feelings. Even me, I'm confused whether to say congratulations or not to say. That's why I withheld my... So some people are happy, some people are not happy.
Sure, you have that.
In Kano, if you know the arrangement and the paraphernalia of the palaces in Kano, you know, at least each of the palaces employ not less than 50 people. So bringing it together as one, it shows that about not less than 250 people, let's say 400 people will lose job, and they have families in this economic hardship. And then now, the second thing is what becomes the fate of those emirs that has been deposed. Most of them were district head before. Are they going back as district head? Sure. Or they will even resign completely from the traditional council? Okay. You know, see, that's why we are saying that the traditional institution should not be politicized. It's not politicization of the traditional institution could lead to bastardization. Lastly, to enable Prof say something, those masquerades that troubled that mess, one of them, fate was caught up with him. He was molesting another woman. And the men of the rapid response arrested him.
The masquerade?
Yes, you know, they were a team of masquerades. So that molested that nurse. So one of them went and he was molesting another woman. Again. And the rapid response of the police department arrested him. And in the course of the investigation, it was revealed that he was among the people that molested that nurse. We are urging the police. The DSP Daniel Induke made the PPRO made the announcement that they have arrested one of them. We are urging the police, even though he has been arraigned. Unfortunately, the court has granted him bail, but I know the prosecution continue. We are urging the police to make sure that in further investigation, disclose or marks the identity of the other masquerades. So now Prof was talking about whether they have addressed those masquerades. Now the investigation will help us know that if they have addressed or not.
All right, well, you're talking about masquerade. When we had the recent museum day, I was hoping. I was like, okay, the Irigwe people, because I know they are used to having masquerade as well. I was like, okay, will their masquerade actually trek down from Mayango to the museum? Anyway.
Or he will enter transport. Because when we were kids, they told us they used to disappear.
Yes.
I remember when Frank Tadi was chairman of Just North. So the masquerade, there was going to be a masquerade festival in Brazil.
Yes.
So they said that he should sponsor the masquerade from Jos to move to Brazil. Then he now said, how will he start? Will they have an international passport? And so we wouldn't know whether masquerade will have an international passport to fly to Brazil.
All right, thank you so much. This is a good morning. Kubi and our amiable, consistent and passionate analyst, Professor Bamayi and Barrister Zaruma, kudos to you for the wonderful educative analysis. It's so unfortunate that we are so religious, but we hardly do the right thing. Corruption is everywhere, and not only by the government officials, even our children are involved in corruptions. It's quite sad. Honestly, our leaders should lead by example and stop corruptions by enacting laws that will really prosecute offenders with capital punishments. Jamaat Kareem to Muslim brothers and sisters. Peace is priceless. Let's live in peace. God bless Unity FM in Nigeria. This is from Christie's and from Rukubaro. Prof, your parting words as well.
Well, thank you very much, Kubi. Kano, my Kano.
Kano, my Kano.
You know, one of the matters Barrister raised, the Speaker, I think it's the Speaker of the Kano State House Assembly, clarified that since they're returning back to pre-2019, when that bill was passed, that means those who were district heads will return back and continue to be district heads. But the governor gave all the MS 48 hours from yesterday to vacate their palaces and return all properties in their possession, and then revert to where they used to be, their position. So it's delicate. Kano is a place that we should be looking out for to see what will happen, what will unfold in the next few days to few weeks. And I know that Mr. President, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will be worried about what happens in Kano. Because Kano is the second largest city. In the whole country, the second most populous city. In fact, some people will even put it and say it has more population than Lagos, but we know it's the second most populous city, in the country. And as far as the north is concerned, that's a larger city. So something has to be done, because the Kano, I know also viewers and listeners, is highly volatile. A small spark can set the whole of Kano on fire. So security agencies must be proactive. This is the time for the military, the police, civil defense, all the rest of the sister agencies involved in security to be proactive. I will expect that the president will issue an order to mobilize, so that we are not taken unawares. We know that both sides have their supporters, and we know that people who are criminally minded seize opportunities like this to inflict mayhem, on innocent citizens. So our prayer is that Kano will remain peaceful, and Kano will get over all this, and everywhere, will be peaceful. It tells us how transient power is. One governor comes, he does one thing, another comes, does another thing, here and there and all this. That is why when God gives us an office, we should remember that we will not be there forever, and we must ensure that we do what is right. Personal squabbles should not come in and make us take official decisions based on personal squabbles, personal matters. And so we pray for the peace of Kano. Viewers and listeners, the weekend has come. I want to encourage parents, because Monday is going to be Children's Day. Please make this forthcoming Children's Day fantastic for your children. Please plan for your children. Many parents, they don't put their children in their budget, in their plans, and all this, and they just wake up and say, oh, today is Children's Day, what are we going to do? Please, you have today, Saturday, and Sunday to plan for a fantastic Children's Day for your children of that age. Please plan for them, and ensure that this event that comes maybe just once a year is memorable, for our children. And I want to encourage all of us, as we are going into the weekend, Please use the weekend to reflect. Use the weekend to strategize, to plan. Use the weekend to sit back and say, what have I accomplished during the week? And what do I want to do the next week that is coming? Things might be tough, might be difficult, might be challenging in the country. Please, I encourage us, don't give up. Don't be discouraged. Please, go out there full of hope. Where there is life, there is hope. And where there is a will, there is a way. You can make it. Don't give up on Nigeria. Nigeria will not give up on you, so don't give up on Nigeria. Be strong, be of good courage. Don't give up. I mean, don't quit. Winners don't quit. Quitters don't win. And have a wonderful, fantastic weekend ahead.
All right, thank you. If you have any plans to have your school or child represented on our Children's Day special program, is coming your way on Monday. We are having 1 hour full time for children. So you can call me on 0808-478-9999 even after this show, just so to have your child featured in on our Children's special program comes Monday, Children's Day. All right, thank you so much, everyone who made this program possible. In fact, my listener viewer, you are the reason for which we are here. Thank you so much for always being there. And I also want to appreciate the crew who made it possible. I'm talking about our GSM Shamsuddin Kabir, also our Dr. Ismail Bello, Barrister Sam Talks, and also Barrister Munir Barao, and every other person. And I must not forget to say thank you, the family of Barrister Paul. Behind any successful man is a woman, and also Professor Bamayi.
They say beside now, not
behind. Behind now, so it has to be beside.
Yes.
By the time we bring them besides, you know, women, they will now take over, and which of course we support them to take over, so that they go ahead of us, and I'm sure that will be a very wonderful one. Having women not behind, beside and us. With time comes.
And we are the head, they are the neck.
They are the neck. So beside, not behind. Oh, I love this. Thank you so much for being there. That's the much we can take on today's edition. Do have yourselves a lovely weekend. See you on Monday. Bye-bye.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you